think we're a little just shell-shocked. I mean, those guys are they're good at both ends of the court. You know, they contest everything. Defensively, everything at the rim was contested. Everything out at the three-point line, their length, their ball screen defense. I'd imagine that's as close to playing an NBA team in terms of their personnel and their discipline. That's as good a college basketball team as I've ever seen in person.
And then in the second half, you just dug in, and you know, I mean, that's the toughness and the grit that you're looking for. You know,
I think if we were more of that in the first half, you know, I think we were a lot grittier in the second half. We played smaller, and we just were a little bit tougher. And I think if we were a little bit grittier in the first half, you're talking about probably a game that would have been 15, 18, 20 instead of 25 to 30.
it's not a critique, but it's tough to play, tough to throw the ball inside because they have who they have. And you guys, it was tough to get anything going inside. It was all ball screens and driving to the rim. That's just what it is.
Yeah, no, it's. I thought that I thought there was some good things in the second half with guys that we need to be better. I thought it was good to see X, be better, at least off the dribble. And Gil did some things. Obviously, him battling against their front line with four guards. Is a real tall task.
Sure.
But he showed some signs, I think, in the second half of coming at of it and finding a little better rhythm. Those guys are really good. We're obviously nowhere near their level.
Coach, speak to what this will do for you down the line in conference play with these players getting a chance to go up against some players like this.
I don't think we're going to see a team. Obviously, they might be 15 to 18 points better than any team we're going to play the rest of the year. That's the reality of what we just saw on the road. First time we heard a real crowd. Tough time communicating. It should make our next game feel different. And it also really exposes the things that you're really weak at. Right now, it doesn't feel like you can take a lot of good from it because we want it to be more competitive. But hopefully it'll have some dividends.
A little bit more on X. That's the best he's played. Obviously, he was good off the bounce, and he just played with that toughness that you had last year, going hard to the rim. Really.
Yeah. You know what? I think he looked more like himself. And I think he's gonna. He still hasn't found his rhythm shooting. I think he saw the ball around the net a little bit more today against a very high-level group. And we're going to be a team that attacks the paint. It wasn't. I don't think it wasn't necessarily the greatest matchup for the type of team we're going to be this year. An offensive rebounding team, a lane driving team. We drove the lane and saw some scary things when it was time to release the ball.
Can you even say who their best player is after scouting them?
Our game plan really was to turn them into jump shooters, and then you have Jefferson, who hasn't made a 15-foot shot throughout the season, make a three, and then obviously the guard McConnell, who was obviously a good shooter at Duquesne, had only taken 4 on the season. He had kind of been a reluctant shooter, and against us, we obviously can't take everything away. We had to give something up. And we tried to give up, perimeter jump shots, and then the problem became, offensive rebounding and just at another level.
Coach, is it encouraging to watch your guys from a psychological standpoint look a little nervous at the beginning, and then by second half they're playing with them? I mean, I didn't see any fear in your guys' eyes. I mean, they seemed like they were playing with them.
Listen, we cut it to 18. EC had the steal. I think it was 18, and. I thought he got hammered, and then they go down to hit a 3. It goes back up to 21. Maybe it gets to 16. Maybe the game hangs from 12 to 20. I'm not sure what really happened on that. But I like the way we fought in the second half. I think we found some things with some combinations of players. I like what Menace is doing for us now. I like his ability to guard. I like his ability to be a big physical guy that can help us, and he's athletic. I think X will make his, take it to another level here. Then I think EC. I just think, we thought about starting him before the game. And I think what we were afraid of not starting him was just how he would handle this level of opponent, this type of crowd, and him wanting to do well so badly was like the perfect storm.
The last thing for me, Coach, I know you don't want moral victories and things like that, but if you knew you were coming to Tucson, you were going to beat Metro State, they were no slouches either, and then play Arizona this tough in the second half, I mean, not bad.
Listen, I think our goal today was, you know, we wanted a 10-point game at halftime. I wanted to try to keep it around 10, and then, you know, and then obviously we talked about winning the 4-minute wars throughout the second half. You know, there were a lot of things that happened on the court with where we're at as a program. On a whole hell of a lot we could do about it. But I like the grittiness. I like the fight. We needed to split out here. We couldn't afford to lose both. And you know, I just wish in the first half we could have dug in. You know, I don't know if they had 10 points with 11 minutes to go in the first half, and then we just we started playing a little bit of 2-3 zone, and I think it kind of softened up our resolve and man. And that was probably the only disappointing part for me was that last 10 minutes of the first half.
Played 7-footer, definitely long across the board. But it was hard. We had to get in there, just be physical, try to get to the body, create contact, use our floaters. It was definitely difficult. It was definitely a test.
What do you think you get out of these 2 games as a team?
It was definitely a learning experience playing against Arizona in this type of environment, type of quality of players, a lot of NBA prospects on that team. So we definitely use it as a learning experience going into our conference play.
And how about yourself? Do you think you progressed? How's your foot feeling?
It's getting better right now.
Yeah.
Continuing my treatment and stuff like that. But I felt better today. Got my confidence going back. Made a couple of jump shots. I'm still trying to figure out what my game is, trying to find it again.
Hey, you know they say when you're in a boxing match, when you get punched the first time, you kind of like, it wakes you up and you start getting into the fight. Looked like that a little bit for you guys. After you started playing with them, the intimidation went away, and you seem to be really playing with them by second half. What does that feel like inside when you know we can play with these guys?
We knew it was definitely going to be a punch. It was just a matter of surviving that punch. So we survived the first punch, and then we just started, the second half, basically trying to pressure them, trying to find our game, start playing some more confidence.
Do you end up rooting for guys like they're not rooting for them? Obviously, they're not going to play you anymore, but like when you get a feel for a team, like, hey, these guys are all right guys. Like, I hope they do well. Plus, it makes you look better if they do well later, you know what I mean? Heck of a team, aren't they?
Down the road, we definitely going to root for them if we're not in the tournaments and stuff like that. So I'm definitely root for them. They're a great team, a lot of great players, a great coach. It's a great team.